This is over the bar.
And welcome to the 2023 commencement exercises at Shalom Christian Academy. Tonight, we gather here to recognize and celebrate 19 students who have completed the requirements to graduate. We have witnessed their growth, their challenges, and their triumphs over the past 4 years, and it is with great their accomplishments. Graduates, today marks the end of one journey and the beginning of another. As you enter adulthood, on the experiences that have shaped. It's also important to acknowledge the presence of the grace of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, who has been the center of our school's mission and values. We have intentionally focused on the virtues of love, compassion, integrity, and perseverance, and we hope that these are instilled of your lives. Remember these values and hold them and these lessons that you've learned within these walls, and let your faith guide you in all of your endeavors. Embrace the opportunities and challenges that lie ahead, for you are well prepared to face anything, and you should have the confidence and the resiliency. Today, we celebrate your successes, both big and small, and acknowledge the challenge and the many challenges that you have overcome. Your accomplishments are not limited to the academic achievements, but also to include the friendships you have made, the character you have built, and the spiritual foundation strengthened during your time here at Shalom. Remember that success is not always defined by worldly achievements or possessions, but by the lives that we touch and the positive impact that you make on others. Strive to be compassionate, empathetic, and servant-hearted in everything that you do. You are destined for greatness, and I have no doubt that you will go on to make a difference in this world. As you pursue your dreams and goals, remember to be kind and humble and gracious, and to remain steadfast in your faith. Trust in God's plan for your lives and allow His guiding hand to lead you in the paths of purpose and fulfillment. Congratulations to you, the Shalom class of 2023. We are immensely proud of you, and we look forward to seeing the incredible impact that you make in this world.
Let us bow in the word of prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for the seniors that are graduating tonight. They have all worked hard this year and like you, Lord, and to keep coming back for more. And women throughout their time at Shalom, and I pray that the influence they can share.
Context, I will read Romans 12, verses 9 through 12. Love must be sincere. Hate what is evil. Cling to what is good. Be devoted in one another in brotherly love. Honor one another above yourselves. Never be lacking in zeal, but keep your spiritual fervor serving the Lord. And now verse 12. Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer.
Throughout my academic journey, especially my math teacher, Mrs. Gingrich, and tutor, Mrs. Mall. I appreciate Mr. Harris's ways of explaining the Bible. My parents taught me discipline and perseverance, which has helped me to achieve my goals. I feel I have the Christian values and tools necessary to go forward. On working 2 jobs this gap year. I'm considering joining the Air Force, but we'll see what God's plan is for me.
Hello, I'm Shay Kamut. I have been attending Shalom Christian Academy since 10th grade. Before attending Shalom, I went through the Shippensburg School District. The difference between these two schools was life-changing for me. Because I attended public school, I grew to have an immense appreciation for the godly atmosphere at Shalom. It was difficult at first breaking into Shalom's tight-knit community, but I can gladly say that I've now found my home here at Shalom with godly friends and caring teachers and staff. Though the transition was hard, A Bible verse that got me through was Philippians 4:6. Don't worry about anything, instead, pray about everything. I will continue to apply this verse as I transition into my college years at Liberty University, where I will be majoring in professional and creative industries, as well as event ungodly who have been uplifting me and constantly encouraging me throughout my whole life.
Hi, my name is Connor Costner. I've been going to Shalom since second grade, and it has been an overall good experience for me, but I did have some challenges. During these challenges, like staying up late to finish homework or study for a test, I remember the verse Philippians 4:13. This verse says that I can do all things through him who gives me strength. This verse really helped me finish out these last couple years of high school strong. My future plans are to take a gap year and work, then we will see what God has in store for me. Now, I would like to thank my parents for always pushing me to do my best and be the best person I could possibly be. I would like to thank my family and friends for always being here for me. Richmond, thank you. I really appreciate it. I would also like to thank my girlfriend, Evelyn. Thank you for always being there for me when I needed to talk about something, and thank you for always finding a way to make me laugh. Thank you, everyone.
Good evening. My name is Micah Gish. I've been attending Shalom since fifth grade. First, I want to start by thanking all of my middle school and high school teachers for their support and guidance throughout the years. I also want to thank my mom and dad for always supporting me, my grandparents for their constant encouragement, and my siblings for always giving me something to laugh about. I'll miss you all as I move to college for the next 4 years. My plan for college is to attend Cedarville University for nursing. After college, I hope to work as a pediatric or NICU nurse, providing care for children and their families. Something that I've gotten from my time at Shalom is the biblical integration in our education. One verse that has specifically stood out to me is Isaiah 41:10, which says, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be anxious, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, I will help you, and I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." I pray this verse will continue to give me strength as I go through the next steps of my life and work through the different challenges and joys of adulthood. Finally, I pray that as our class goes our separate ways, we will not forget the loving example set by our well-missed friend, Silas. We all missed his kind smile and wish he could have.
All right. Good evening, everyone. And my name is Julia Goshorn, and I've been attending Shalom people or friends. I have built lifelong relationships, and for that, I am very, very grateful. Tonight, I would like to thank my family for supporting me through this time in our lives, our family, and for teaching me how to love Jesus. I am eager to follow your footsteps into the mission field this fall. Boys, thank you for being amazing brothers and always laughing with me, even if it wasn't appropriate at the time. Even though this chapter of life is coming to an end, I want you all to know that no matter how far I go, I love you very much, and I will always be your little princess. After graduation, I plan to take a gap year to attend a 6-month discipleship training school with YWAM. Although the ATS is currently undecided, God has placed the area of New Zealand and me. This verse is a constant reminder that we are life. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Tommy Jackson Hurst. Finally, here we are at the end. Thank you to my parents for paying the price and sending me here and always being there for me. My brother and sister for being fun and interesting, and to anyone who has ever taught me or given me advice. To my classmates, I couldn't have done it without you guys. In the future, I plan to enter the workforce while also attending Liberty University online. And our class verse, Romans 12:12, be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer, will always be a good reminder for me to be joyful, patient, faithful throughout my life. I want to say thank you to the Blands for sending their son here with us. It was a blessing to get to know your son and call him one of my best friends.
Hello, everyone. I'm Andrew Kaufman, and I've been attending Shalom since 9th grade. And here at Shalom, I've learned many important life lessons, built strong friendships, and had a great education in the 4 years I've been here. But some of my favorite memories have to be the junior retreat at Cove Valley, the tennis and golf field trips, being in the Music Man with Tommy, Bryce, and Connor, and the missions trip, and all the time we got to spend together as a class. And I hope in the years to come, we can all stay connected even when we go in our separate paths of life. Speaking of the future, I'm planning on eventually becoming a barber because I enjoy cutting hair. But before I end, I'd like to thank some people. Thank you to my teachers, my friends, and family for everything that you did to help me get here, but especially Mom and Dad. Thank you for supporting me in everything that I've done, whether it be decisions being made, soccer games, or something musical, or even something else. And thank Aaron and my sister-in-law Paige for being more than just my siblings, but for also being some of my closest friends. And thank you to my niece Adeline for getting me out of school on Wednesday mornings to watch you, coming to see me play soccer, sing musicals, and in chorale or anything else that I do. And thank you to all of my classmates and friends for doing this thing called high school with me. But now high school's over and we're moving into the future. So I want to leave you with this verse, Proverbs 3:6. In all your ways submit to him and he will make your path straight. To me, this verse is telling me to trust God in everything I do and everything will turn out according to his plan. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Gavin MacDonald, and I've been at Shalom with this class since the 7th grade. We moved a couple times whenever I was young, so I've been to a few different schools. I still remember not wanting to transfer to Shalom, but my parents kept telling me it was for the best and I'd understand whenever I was there. They were right. As soon as I started, I knew this school was different. Being that I came from CVCS, I was initially deemed the Shalomi traitor by both sides. I was welcomed by Shalom, but knew I had to earn my place with the boys that were previously my rivals. I look back and reminisce about my wild spiked hair, neon everything I could get away with, practically knee-high Nike socks, and cringe at our high-pitched voices. Years of high school here, I've had some good times, some bad times, mostly really great times. I'll miss our scheduled lab table nap times, business math pranks, deep conversations with our teachers, and the memories we made on our trips. There are some people that I would like to thank for helping me get to this point. Mom, thank you for all the times where I procrastinated on a project and you helped me till 1 a.m. putting it together, even though Dad will try to take credit for this as well. Thank you for trying to always keep me motivated, even by threats, and telling me my hard work will pay off. Thank you for running me around constantly, giving me every opportunity to be involved in the things I chose, even if it meant spending countless evenings in the car waiting until I was done. Mostly, thank you for being my person and keeping me alive for 17 years. I know it wasn't an easy job. Dad, thank you for pushing me to get good grades and train for soccer as much as possible to improve, because I wouldn't have reached my goal of playing college soccer without you. Thank you for those motivational halftime talks that I didn't listen to a word of. I'm sure they were good. Thank you for being there for me for day one, coaching me, supporting me, often for own needs, and kicking my butt when I needed it. Being the only males in our household, we had to stick together. Don't worry, I'll be sure to check in on you whenever I'm in college. To Jeezy and Little T, Lennon and Tegan, I know we don't always get along, but I love being your big brother. To my grandparents, thank you for always being there to love and support me. Thank you for defending me against my parents when necessary, even if secretly we knew they were right. I wouldn't be who I am today without you, and I want you to know how much you mean to me. There are countless people in my life that deserve appreciation today, but they only gave me two. You all know who you are, and like to say thank you to Shalom and thank my teachers and administration for providing and supporting a solid Christian education here at Shalom. I'm sure sometimes it feels like a thankless job, and we're definitely not easy to deal with. But I know what it's meant to me to be here these past 6 years, and I will take what I've learned from you into the next chapter of my life. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Bryce Martin. I've been attending Shalom since 8th grade, and it has been some of the greatest years of my life. Somehow, I passed and am graduating, even if I had to wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning to finish a paper that was due that day, or looking at my notes for the first time as I walked to class to take a test. But I couldn't have done it myself, so I would like to thank my parents for all that they've done. Mom, thank you for always driving me to school, games, and practices, and for being my biggest supporter at games. I may have found it embarrassing when I could hear you cheering, but it was nice to know that you were there. Dad, thank you for teaching me how to hunt, even if it's going into the woods, and honestly, for a few hours, even if I don't always wake up to milk. But most importantly, thank you for both showing me what it means to live a Christ-centered life, and yeah, just thank you. I don't think I need to thank my siblings, but I probably should say something. So thank you guys for being my best friends and my biggest competitors. I don't know where I'd be without you. I would also like to thank my friends. I would have never made it through school without you guys. You always made it fun to come and sit through classes for 7 hours. I would also like to thank my teachers and coaches for all the things they've taught me. So I will be taking this next year to go into the workforce and figure out what I'm going to do after that. And lastly, I will end with this verse, Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. This verse lets me know that I can always trust God with whatever he has planned for me.
Good evening. My name is Landon Noble. I would like to thank my mom and my dad and everything that has helped me reach this point in high school. If anyone knows who I am, then you would know that I was known for playing baseball. Ever since I joined Shalom, I have been playing on the baseball team. Over the past years that I have been playing, I have learned a lot from the coaches that have been at Shalom. When I get out of school, I will be attending college and going for owning my own business. As of now, I want to have a landscaping and lawn care business. But I have been told that most of the time people go for something in college and halfway through it changes. So I guess I will find out. My favorite verse is John 3:16. God so loved the world that he gave his only son so that everyone who believed in him would perish but is willingly offering to make a sacrifice to save the world.
Hello, everyone. My life since then, but one thing I will never forget: Kristen's house, and I had misplaced my keys. I then drove Mama P's van to school that morning. I never would have gotten to where I am if it weren't for some people in my life. To my family, thank you for always supporting me, encouraging me to always do my best, and giving me a place where I can always call home, literally and figuratively. To the teachers, thank you for being patient with our crazy class, and especially to Mrs. Gates. Thank you for letting us sit in your room all the time. In the verse that I've always gone back to when times were tough. Psalm 40 exalted in the earth.
Good evening. My name is Kristen Priest, and I've been attending Shalom since kindergarten. I've made so many fond memories over the years, and I would like to share a few of them with you tonight. In middle school, one time we were watching a movie during class, and some of the boys took the remote and changed the language. We listened for a few minutes while our teacher was completely confused by what was happening. On the junior retreat, the boys taught me how to use a change. I will never forget skipping class to watch the World Cup with Father Jason, and thanks to all the girls that helped me prank people in his room with balloons or to most eggs and Easter lawn ornaments. I would like to thank my family. Dad, thank you so much for instilling in me your work ethic, even though you repeatedly told me that they were worthless hay burners. Mom, thanks for always making the best food and for being the mastermind from you is to live life to the fullest and never take anything for granted. Sarah, thanks for all the shopping sprees and coffee runs, and wherever we went, the music was always blaring. You have always encouraged me in my faith, and I will always appreciate that about you. Aiden, thanks for always being my partner in crime, from cowboys and Indians when we were little, to catching kittens and playing sports in the backyard. And most of our recent adventures have been hunting and fishing. You are always able to make me laugh no matter how angry I am. I'm so thankful for all of you and how you have supported me through the years. Now I would like to thank my class and friends for sticking by my side. Thank you for all the great laughs through the years. Thank you to my teachers for the many things you have taught me. I think the best lesson I learned is that all math is easy and fun. My future plans are to go to college for nursing. I would like to leave this verse with you. This verse means a lot to me because it speaks of how important we are to God and how he has a plan for us. Ephesians 2:10. For we are God's masterpiece. He has created us anew in Christ Jesus, so we can do the good things he planned for us long ago. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Landon Rebuck, and I've been going to Shalom for the past 3 years. However, it feels like I've been here for longer. My class used to know me as the class thief, but now I'm the comic relief. In a really tedious spot, and they would get really mad at me because I wouldn't tell them where it was. They would go 4 periods without finding it. Apple Watches. But I've forgotten my past and started anew. I'd like to thank my parents for putting me in Shalom in the first place, and my family for supporting me, and especially my class for making me feel like I belong here. Shalom has helped me find my path in life. I struggled to figure out what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. Everyone always says it's a lot for someone to ask what an 18-year-old wants to do for the rest of their lives, and it is. Most grown-ups who have asked me told me that they don't even know what they want to do when they grow up yet. It was only a few months ago when I decided what I wanted to do with my life. I would like to go for studio music. It'll stick with me going into this field, and that is 1 Peter 5:7. Cast all your anxiety upon him because he cares for you. Not only do I take this as anxiety, but I also take it as stress. And in this job, I've already found out that it can give you both very easily. Mrs. Hurst, you know what I'm talking about. However, knowing this verse and going back to it has kept me from getting anxious and stressed every day. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Connor Roseman, and I've gone to Shalom my whole life. I've had so many great memories here, and I have many amazing people to thank. I've had some great teachers, coaches, family, and extended family that have helped me here today. First, Dad, thanks for teaching me so many great life lessons, especially through sports, and thank you so much for giving me pointers after my games of what I could have done better. You are very fun to be around, and you're insanely good at pickleball. You are very fun. You've made me roughly 1,400 sandwiches in just my high school years. And I wish I could say you're done making lunches, but you're still going to have to make Dad's every day. I will definitely miss all the times you introduced me to people as the baby of the family. I will miss you and Dad next year at college, and I love you both. Kobe, you are super funny, caring, and very ticklish. You have some funny quirks such as measuring our wingspans, since this is the longest because you're 6'5". And you're going to be an amazing husband. I'm excited for yours and Hannah's wedding next weekend. Hannah, I'm excited to have you as a sister, and I'm glad you're a good cook because, believe it or not, Kobe could use a few extra pounds. I appreciate yours and Kobe's interesting hospital stories because they helped me decide that I do not want to go into the nursing field next year. Cameron, what's cool about you is I never know if I'm going to check my phone and find out that you just had lunch with Elon Musk, which actually happened. You are very enthusiastic, and you constantly surprise us with who you meet, where you're staying, and what cool business things you are doing. It is very fun to visit in ULA, and you are one of the most generous and fun people I know. Caleb, we have spent lots of time together, whether it's playing in the woods, building Legos, or playing 1v1 basketball. 1v1 basketball is where most of our fights came from because for some reason I'm not supposed to beat you. And if I did, I just got lucky. It's been fun playing with you at Shalom and the 2 championships we got to win together. It will be fun going to the same college next year, and I'd like to thank you in advance for all the free haircuts you will have to give me next year. As for future plans, next year I'll be attending Pensacola Christian College to major in business management and minor in marketing and follow God's lead for my life. I'd like to leave you with a quote from my dad that he uses at pretty much all the end of his gym classes. Well, class, it's going to be all she wrote. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Bryce Sanders, and I have attended Shalom for a very, very long 13 years. We've all made a lot of memories along the way, and one of my favorite high school memories was in 9th grade when I realized it was easier to survive a pandemic than pass Mrs. Gates's class. It's kind of crazy to think that we'll be leaving this place that we've all been at for 13 years, and the only way that we could have gotten through these long, long years is with help from all of our friends and family, and even from God. So I'd like to thank my parents, my grandparents, and all my classmates, and even the big man upstairs. My plans for the future are going to be going to Harrisburg University of Science and Technology to study computer science. And a Bible verse I'd like to leave you with that I've kept in my heart since back when we did Bible memory is Jeremiah 29:11, which says, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." God knows my plans, and he knows all of ours. So trust in him, and your future will go according to plan.
There's a whole bunch of tall people in front of me, so I had to move that down.
Good evening, everyone. I am Allie Schwartz, and I have been attending Shalom since kindergarten. I've walked these halls for 13 years of my life. How can that be? And the only reason why I could attend Shalom for this long is because of my parents' financial sacrifice, and I'll be forever thankful to them for this education. Dang it, I wasn't going to cry. Mom, many people say that I both look like you and have similar mannerisms to you. No one can give me a better compliment. You have been so involved in my life from all the field trips, sports events, and often silly or serious conversations, and I'll be forever grateful to you for that. You have taught me many valuable lessons, but one of the most important ones is that having a giving and thoughtful heart will always be a good thing, and to never be embarrassed by it. Thank you for all you have done for me and will continue to do because you're just that type of person. I love you, Mom. Dad, or should I call you as I have? That was silly. Okay. Dad, you are my rock and oh so full of wisdom. Even though there are weeks where I barely see and overlap that week, I always know when you're in the house because when I was a kid, I was scared of the dark, and the solution to that fear was a nightlight, which I used until middle school, fun fact. But now when I get scared, I don't need a nightlight because I know for a fact that my dad will be there if I need him. You're literally the hardest worker I've ever met, and I love that about you. Many people say that girls look for a future spouse much like their fathers, and in my case, that is 100% true.
Thank you for providing for me and our family and for your quiet presence that is and will always be a comfort to me. I love you, Dad. Abby, or Merle, as I like to call you. I love how so down to earth you are and strong you are. I feel like nothing phases. Let what other people say affect you. I love you, Abby. Asher, I've always appreciated your humor and your ability to make me laugh, even when I was trying to be in a bad mood. It never worked. You always made me laugh. I love you, Asher. And Diego, I'm so excited for you to join our family. I'm so excited for all the memories that we are going to make. It's going to be sick. I'm excited. To my extended family, thank you for all the family reunions and Sunday night suppers where I can't stop laughing and almost pee my pants. It's happened a few times. You guys have a way of making my life better. I love you guys. And to my class, you have been a source of frustration throughout these 13 years. But most importantly, you guys have been a source of constant laughter. From all the Dunkin' and Sheets runs to doing donuts in an empty parking lot. You guys have made my life a happier one. Love you guys. And to my friends, thank you. Back down to we went for our senior missions trip to Big Creek Missions, and then I plan to enter and see where God directs my path. This year has been full of good and bad times. However, the Lord taught me throughout this year, literally never alone. And the verse that comforted me a while, do not be afraid, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will hold on to you with my righteous right hand. And that can be a comfort to all of us. And to end, I will leave you with this quote that's both challenging and encouraging. Obedience, no matter the cost, brings joy. Disobedience, no matter the comfort, brings sorrow. Thank you.
My name is Izzy Zentz. I came to Shalom 7 years ago in 6th grade, and while I've enjoyed my time here, I'm really ready to leave and go on to the future. First and foremost, I want to thank my mom for her constant support and optimism through everything. You've always been there for me when I need you, even if I just need someone to eat ice cream. Dad, when I'm feeling down or really stressed, you always know what to do. Whether that conversations that last for hours, I know I can always count on you, and I hope I end up like you one day. I want to thank my sister, Zoe, and all the friends that I have made here for your constant support and just keeping life fun. I love all of you so much, and I cherish our friendships. When I was in elementary, I got really sick for a couple of weeks, and I couldn't go to school. But next to our couch, we had a picture of Jeremiah 29:11, which says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope in a future." I memorized that when I was 10 years old, and it still is a reminder to me that through everything, God has control. As of now, my future plans are to attend Penn State Mont Alto and major in nursing in hopes of eventually becoming a nurse anesthetist.
At this time, I would like to introduce the Salutatorian of the class of 2023. The student who has the second highest grade point average of 3.
Faculty, administration, parents, and friends, thank you for coming tonight to the graduation of 2023. Well, class, we finally made it. We've gone through so much together, and I'm very glad for the time I got to spend with you. 4 years ago, here we are. We have worked incredibly hard to get to this point, and I hope you're all proud of your accomplishments. While I have many different memories from my 13 years here at Shalom, one that really sticks out to me is our senior mission trip to Wheelwright, Kentucky. Whether it was getting to know people in the community, fighting off bees with disinfectant spray, going into an abandoned coal mine that we definitely weren't supposed to be in, or the insane amount of trips that we took to the Dollar General, our class had an amazing time. This trip showed us just how much good God can really do whenever we let him work through us. Thank you, friends, for all the amazing times we've had together. No matter what it was that we were doing, we could always find something to laugh about, and I really appreciate the joy you've brought to my life.
Thank you, teachers, for always putting in hard work and being so willing to help us. I would not be here right now if it weren't for you. I want to thank my parents as well. Thank you for supporting me, believing in me, always having a listening ear, and helping me achieve my goals. I would not be here if it weren't for you pushing me to be my best. You are truly the best role models I could ever ask for. Jenna, thank you for all the late night talks, the inside jokes, and encouragement. You will always be my best friend. Gammy, thank you for supporting me no matter what it was that I was doing, showing up to my concerts and grandparents' day or whatever it was, and for always making sure that I have a steady supply of Cheez-Its and grape juice. As for my future plans, I will be attending Shippensburg University this fall to major in elementary education. Shalom has really helped me realize my passion for teaching. The teacher assisting program here has given me an amazing opportunity to help and observe elementary classrooms, and that's something that I will always be thankful for. Finally, I would like to address my class. Abraham Lincoln once said, "Be sure you put your feet in the right place, then stand firm." We need to be sure that we continue to walk with the Lord. He will guide and direct your path and will be there with you each step of this new journey we are about to go on. I wish you all the best in your new chapters and hope you will succeed no matter what. Thank you for listening and for being here with us this evening.
The valedictorian of the class of 2023, the student with the highest grade point average of 3.98, Alexander Reebok.
Teachers, administration, family, and friends, thank you for coming to support the Shalom Christian Academy graduating class of 2023. My name is Alex Reebok, and I'm honored to be speaking in front of you today. It's amazing to think about how far this class has come as a whole. Some of us have been here at Shalom for 13 years, including myself, while others have been here for just a few years. Nevertheless, I am grateful for each and every one of the members of this class, as each one of me at some point throughout my time at Shalom. I also appreciate how our class came in 6th grade when we unfortunately lost a member of our class, Silas Bland, which Connor will touch on a little bit later. I appreciate how we all responded to the situation and vowed never to forget who he was or what he meant to each and every one of us. I would like to personally thank all of you for all that you guys have done for me in holding me to such high standards to make sure I never slacked off of my schoolwork. Next, I would like to thank all the teachers for always challenging me with no matter what I did. I would like to thank them for not only teaching me and my class academically, but for also teaching us valuable life lessons such as perseverance and hard work that we can use later on in our lives. The next people I would like to thank are my parents. Dad, I just want to say thank you for sharing my level of nerdiness about random things, whether it's Star Wars or talking about random sports stats with me when no one else wants to. And even though I say I hate them, I secretly appreciate all of your dad jokes just mood. Mom, I would like to thank you for everything that you've done for me throughout my entire life, including all of those late nights baking stuff for me for school because I forgot to tell you until the night before, and all of those times making me stay diligent with my schoolwork and anything else I was working on. Thank you both for being such good parents. I couldn't have asked for better ones, and thank you for agreeing to send me to Shalom. I couldn't have asked for a better school family to grow up with. I would also like to thank my sister Emily for always keeping me accountable with whatever I was doing. Also, thank you for always making things a competition, even when you didn't want to. And lastly, I would like to thank everyone who is here tonight making all of this possible. I know that each and every one of you has sacrificed a great deal for your graduate to be where they are today. As for my future plans, I plan to attend Shippensburg University to major in mathematics and minor in statistics. In the future, I hope to become a sports statistician. For anyone who does not know what that is, I'm going to explain it to you the same way I explained it to my mom. So y'all know the little bar at the bottom of the ESPN channel that no one pays attention to? That's the kind of stuff I'd like to work with, different probabilities, statistics, and numbers involving sports. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm a very analytical person, so here's a stat that I think at least some of you might enjoy. Our class has spent just around 950,000 minutes in a school building throughout our entire lives. That's in a school building. My fellow graduates, I would like to challenge you all to pursue your future plans with your all. Don't do it half-heartedly. There are two verses I would like to leave you with regarding this. The first is Colossians 3:23. It reads, "Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord and not for men." The second one is Revelation 3:15 through 16, which says, "I know your works. You are neither cold nor hot. Would that you were either cold or hot. So because you are lukewarm nor cold, I will spit you out of my mouth." The second verse applies to being lukewarm in our faith, but I think it also applies to our actions and determination as well. If you only put half your effort into something, it won't be fruitful. If you give it your all and do it as if you're working for the Lord, then he will provide. I would also like to challenge you all to rely on God's instruction for your life. I know I need to work on this more as well, but if we rely on his guidance, it will always turn out well in the end. In conclusion, I would like to thank you all for your attention and would like to leave you with a quote from Babe Ruth. "Never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. You should never let fear be the biggest restraint in your life, and you should always trust what God is going to do for you in your life." Thank you.
I'd like to share some things about Silas. I have the pleasure of knowing Silas very well, and I have so many great. I remember all of our sleepovers where we'd go explore in the woods, acting like we were ninjas, and all the time we play with remote control cars, which we were both obsessed with. Silas and I both played, and I still remember the one time I came over to eat elk steak at his house, which I had never had, and I was super excited about. We had most of our conversations on an app called Kick, which isn't even around today. This is where we would talk mostly about where we're going to watch a soccer game and what concessions food we were going to get. Silas, you were an amazing person and friend, and I'll never forget you and how you treated others. When I think of Silas, the first thing that always comes to my mind is an image of him in my head where he is smiling because he always was, and he has two big front teeth with a gap in between. He was always so sincere and nice, and I will never forget how he made me feel. Lots of people in our class even still wear your wristband from 6th grade saying, "Forever remembered Silas Bland." I know that Silas will forever be remembered by the class of 2023. It is nice to know that even though Silas is not here with me exploring the woods, he is up with Jesus exploring the heavens with him. We all can't wait to be together with you again, Silas.
I feel just like a sailboat. Don't know where I'm headed, but you can't make the wind blow from a sailboat. I have seen the sun, felt the rain on my skin. I've been lost and found, mostly I've been waiting. Oh, I'm out in the waves and I'm hoping and praying, please let this wind blow me home. And night after night there's an empty horizon. And I'm pretty sure I've heard, at least I know I'm speaking, but I feel like a fool. Lately I've been listening, but I'm not giving up. No, I will move on forward. I'm gonna raise my sail. God knows what I'm headed towards. Oh, I'm out in the waves and I'm hoping. Oh, I'm out in the waves and I'm hoping. Pray, please let this wind blow me home. And night after night, there's an echo. But sometimes, like, and most times, oh, I'm out in the waves and I'm hoping and praying. Please let this wind blow me home. And night after night, there's an empty horizon. My God, do I feel so alone? But sometimes, like, and most times, I
It is my privilege to introduce our 2023 commencement speaker, Brett Myers. He is the founder and owner of Magic and Wonder Dinner Theater located in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Brett began touring with his Illusion show during his senior year of high school to local churches in the Chambersburg community. Since then, he offered opportunities to perform in India, Uganda, Ecuador, and coast to coast in the United States. In 2021, Brett received the Merlin Award, the magic industry's Oscar, for Best Magic and Variety Show from the International Magicians Society. Magic and Wonder is constantly growing, learning, and innovating to provide a top-notch performance for its guests. Brett is a Shalom Christian Academy Class 2005 alumnus, and we are excited to have him here this evening. Would you please join me in welcoming Brett Myers?
Thank you so much for that introduction. I must say that I think the book is on you. I'm not that good at magician, but I'm honored to be here with you guys today. Really, I'm grateful for that. Next, let's move forward to your goal. Even after doing without performances, I'm really excited to prepare class. God asks you to be with me right now as I try to share something that's helpful, share something that may encourage students who are going in that chapter of their life. I pray that you would open your ears to hear from you, God. Let's really talk to you for all of us. I thank you for this wisdom that you graduated and celebrated. Well, I told the audience, I told them that because I had given leadership, I had a student body president, I had a class president, that I wanted to be a different position type. Now, some people have told me since then there's not much difference between a magician, a politician, those avoid deception. One just has to
good to make preparations for what you're going to do, but being also open to what God has for each and every one of you. Graduation is a memorable milestone, and congratulations to each one of you on making it to this part in that story and your journey. Every person, when we graduate, they always ask one question. What is it that you're going to do? What are you going to do next? What is the next thing? What college are you going to go to? What job are you going to take? What career are you going to pursue? And if we're honest, we usually have an answer, right? We give an answer for what our plan is for next year. But if we're also honest, we realize that this is sort of a stressful question, asking us when we're 17, 18 years old of what we want to do with the rest of our lives. But even though that's a stressful question, it's something in which we have to sometimes recognize that what we plan and what we prepare for is different than what God has planned. Perhaps you'll even think about the decisions that you have ahead, whether those decisions are, what are you going to major in? Perhaps you'll meet your spouse in the next 5 years. Perhaps you even start a family in the next 5 years. All these are sort of stressful questions. And sometimes when we think maybe if God just gave us an instruction manual and said, here, this is what you're supposed to do with your life. This is the plan that I have for you. This is what I want you to do. That would be so much easier. But in some ways, I remember when I was graduating from high school, I often thought about figure out what it was I was supposed to do. And then where I was supposed to college, that was another dot that maybe if I didn't choose the right dot over here, well, I wouldn't end up in the right dot over here. And maybe that would mean I wouldn't meet the right person that I'm supposed to marry. And all that led to a lot of stress and anxiety. But I remember someone challenged me one time. They said, Brett, what if God's will is not a dot? What if it's a circle? What if instead of saying I have to figure out what it is that I'm supposed to do over here, what if God says you choose? You can go here, you can go here, you can go here. And all of this is inside of my will for your life. But you get to choose. Now, there are certain things outside of that circle that's outside of God's will, that's not his intended best. But anything inside that circle, you get the opportunity to choose, and I will mold and shape you through that process. I thought this was an amazing mind shift for me when someone explained this to me, the dot versus the circle principle of God's will for our life. But here's my big idea and my big challenge for each of you. Don't focus so much on what you're going to do. Focus rather on what you are becoming. Who are you becoming? I'll say that again. Don't focus so much on what you're going to do. Focus rather on who you are becoming. Now, this sounds like a great idea, right? I mean, that sounds like, oh, yes, that sounds really good. And someone really smart thought of that. But what am I talking about when you're becoming? If you guys don't mind, I know I'm kind of speaking to the 19 of you that just walked across this stage. Do you mind if I just share with you some things that I think focus on these B's and you will be more successful in life? Is that okay? Yes? Yes? I wasn't expecting participation on this part. See, I'm a performer. I have to have interaction from the audience all the time. So yes, these are basically some things that I would say. First off, be all in. What I mean is break a sweat, work hard. Life is a challenge, and dreams that you have are only realized with lots of blood, sweat, and tears. Whatever you do, do it to your very best. Your work is your worship. Work is not a curse as a result of man's sin. We were designed to create, to build, to invent, discover, improve, serve, teach, and even entertain. Next one is be brave. If you're not sure, scares you, and figure out maybe it's God going to shape you through that yourself. If I were sitting down right now and having a conversation with you and you're saying, what do you think it takes to be successful in life? First thing I would tell you is, honestly, get over yourself. Life is not about you. It's not about one. It's not about you and your ego. It's really about others. Put others first and recognize the person in the room. In fact, the more you learn and grow in a specific field or area, the more you realize that you don't know about that area. Next, be a life learner. Your education doesn't stop the moment that you make it accomplished people in the world. Read a lot of books. Bloom where you are planted. Use this season of life that you're in. Often we try to hit the skip or the jump on life, and we just want to get past it. And we say, you know what? I just want to be done with high school. I want to move on to the next thing. Or I just want to be done with college, and I just want to be out of college. Don't rob yourself of the lesson or what God is trying to teach you, because what you are doing today sets you up for success for tomorrow. I had no idea that the lessons that I was learning in high school and college, how I would use those lessons to later on be the building blocks for what I built 10 to 15 years from that point. Next is this going along with being present. Turn off your phone. Engage in real face-to-face community and conversation. Eliminate those distractions. Don't be a slave to technology. Next, be patient. The experiences that you're having today shape what is possible tomorrow, but slow down. Life is not about rushing through as fast as you can. Remember this: slow, steady, and consistent wins the race. You all remember in kindergarten, you read a story called about the tortoise and the hare? You remember this story? You read this story, a child's story, very simple story, right? But guess what? The tortoise always wins. We live in a culture and society that's all about hares chasing around as fast as we can. We say, go, 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 go. But what we don't realize is that we rob ourselves of the slow investment and steady consistency over time, and the investment, the return on that investment that brings and comes over time. Next is be scrappy. Now, some of you don't know what that means, but what I'm talking about when I say be scrappy is do more with less. You don't need $1 million to start a company or to start an organization. So many startup companies, including my own, started in a living room with a couple $100s. When I graduated high school, I took the money that was given to me as a graduation present, and I went out and I bought some of the very first magic tricks that I would use to then perform at the churches that I'll be performing at that summer. And that has continued to build and build and build over time. But instead of saying, well, I can't do that until I receive more, do as best you can with what you've been given. Be scrappy. Next is be a servant. Make life about serving others and making other people happy, but about giving your life away. Be a team player. When I think about my employees that we have at our theater, I have about 30 employees right now, which is crazy for me to think about. But when I think about the people that are most valuable to our organization, it's those people that get this whole team mindset, which is you're not just worrying about, well, that's not my job or that's not my responsibility, but they look around and say, how can I help? What can I do to serve? Even though this isn't part of my job description, can I help you carry in that from the car and bring it into the dry stock storage area? I find those kind of people, and those are the type of people that I want to pour and invest in, because I see that they are hungry and humble enough to serve. A grateful heart is good medicine. Take time to say thanks to all the blessings you receive every day. Thank and honor those that have blessed and invested in you. Take a gratitude walk in the morning and walk around and just say, thank you, God, for this weather. Thank you for this day. Thank you for the teachers. Thank you for the environment that I grew up in. Thank you for my parents. Thank you for just the community and the neighborhood that I live. There is so much that we can be grateful for, but we walk past it every day. But let me tell you why gratitude is important. I think this is probably one of the most important ones, is because gratitude eliminates entitlement, which is the mindset that I deserve more or better. Gratitude eliminates stress and anxiety. It builds strong relationships. It opens new windows of opportunity. And really, gratitude is the gateway to abundance. The final thing is be resilient, which is the whole idea that in life, failure, just don't mess things. Oftentimes, whenever I was about to go to a magic conference, I soon discovered that for whatever silly reason, that time was often the time of year when I would have my worst performance of the entire year, or maybe the worst performance in 2 years. What I found, though, is that often those failures would humble me. It would make me open to learning and growing in ways that I wouldn't have before. In fact, I would say that I've learned a lot more from my failures than I have my successes. Often, the failures in life, but it is really those failures that bring. In fact, God is often able to take those broken pieces, Don't focus so much on what you're going to do, but allow God to guide your path. Thank you, guys.
Mr. Chairman, the faculty of Shalom Christian Academy is pleased to present these students for graduation. Each has completed the required courses and qualifies for a diploma from our school. James Arthur. Paige May. Hoffman. Gavin James McDonald. Bryce Neil Martin. Landon Bryce Noble. Kenzie Elizabeth Tanner North. We call to the platform Mrs. Priest. Kristen Haley Priest. Alexander Paul Reebok. Landon Scott Reebok. Connor Nathaniel Roseman. Allie Ruthann Schwartz. Israel Lauren Zentz.
We, the senior class of 2023, challenge you, the senior class of 2024, to be godly examples in word and in deed. We challenge you as leaders of the student body to build.
We, the senior class of 2024, accept your challenge to be godly examples in all we do. As the leaders of the student body, we will strive to uphold the faculty and administration and
the Lord be gracious, gracious unto you. Amen. Amen. Amen.
Let us pray. Father God, I lift up to you these 19 Shalom seniors who are seated here this evening. I thank you for allowing me the opportunity, along with Miss Wolf, to serve as their advisor for the past 3 years. They are unique and special individuals who have a very special place in our hearts, and we are going to dearly miss them. As they leave here this evening, I ask you, God, to give them a clear purpose for their lives. Grant them wisdom and understanding. Help them to love what is good and shun what is evil, and give them the discernment to easily distinguish between the two. May they always walk in integrity, both publicly and privately, honoring you in all that they say and do, because good character is more important than any riches this world has to offer them. I ask you, Lord, to protect them against temptation and to put godly people in their lives who will keep them accountable. Please stay by their side when the road gets rough, and it will get rough. During those times, help them to lean into you and not rely on their own understanding. And finally, God, give them gracious hearts. Teach them to appreciate and use wisely the gifts that you have bestowed upon them. May they always invest their time, energy, strength, talents, and opportunities in ways that glorify you. In your name we pray, amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the graduated Shalom Christian Academy class of 2023. You are dismissed to offer your congratulations to the class of 2023.
What'd you think about that match? What was that? You missed it. I mean, you're not watching.